His artworks, they really speaks to me. They say, "Hello, Michelle. You really should have known better about that pyramid scheme. Selling knives? You should have known better. At least I made more then than I do now on YouTube." I think these artworks have inspired me. I think I'm going to make some artworks for myself. Welcome to Artsplained, the show where I explain art. My name is Michelle, and today I'm going to show you how to make art like Moritz Cornelis Escher, otherwise known as MC Escher, because it's MC Escher month. Get with the program. This artist is known for making intricate tessellations, hypnotic circle limit figures, and totally impossible optical illusions. This stuff might seem hard at first, but don't worry, you'll be wrangling hogs in no time. Escher had no background as a mathematician. He failed his high school exams and even dropped out of architecture school. If you think this stuff seems hard, believe me, it can be done. Come with me. Section 1. Optical illusions. Escher pursued the realm of the impossible in various ways. In works like House of Stairs and Relativity, he skews perspective, warping it while making gravity seem non-existent. Seems simple enough, right? When it comes to skewing perspective, you should start with the basics and go from there. Nothing can prepare you for the horror you're about to witness. Okay, so first you have to begin with a horizon line. This is where you start every time. It's what gives you your foundation for your drawing. Then, the second thing is you need to create a vanishing point. Basically, it's where sight is diminished. Now that we've figured out our vanishing point and our horizon line, you need to know that the whole point of this is to have every object the exact same size, but gradually becoming smaller and smaller because these objects need to look like they're vanishing into infinity. Now that we've figured out how to find the horizon and vanishing points, it's time to learn two-point perspective. This is when there are two vanishing points. Think of when you're at an intersection of two roads and when you're able to look down one street and then another. Here's an example of that. Just keep the lines straight and even and boom, you've got yourself a stone-cold, hyper-realistic looking city. Since we've learned the fundamentals of perspective drawings, let's put this all together and try to dissect one of Escher's artworks in order to figure out how exactly he warped perspective. Since we've learned the fundamentals of perspective drawings, let's put this all together and try to dissect one of Escher's artworks in order to figure out how exactly he warped perspective. Let's see. We start with a horizon line, and I guess that goes down here. And then we'll make another horizon line, and that will go down here. And I guess this goes up here. Oh well, we'll just stick to 1-point and 2-point perspective drawings from now on. Section 2. Tessellations. If you're wondering what a tessellation is, it's shapes that are arranged in a pattern without any gaps or overlapping. Here are some examples. So when it comes to tessellations, the simplest ones begin with a simple square. Remember that a square must have all sides equal to one another. Now when creating your design, all you have to do is take a little bit off the top and a little bit off the side. After you take a bit off the side, copy it and move it to the opposite side just like that. Then when it comes to the portion you drew at the top, copy, paste, and drop that to the bottom of your design. If you're simply cutting and pasting with paper, just follow what I do and try to make sure your cutouts line up perfectly with one another. Once you're done, feel free to do a little design. I'll go with cats. I mean, you can never have too many cats. Let's have one cat. Now another cat, cat, cat. Boom, I'm an artist. Section 3, circle limit figures. So now that we know how to make beautiful tessellations, we can move forward to circle limit figures. The purpose of these images is to produce a seemingly infinitely repeating pattern in a finite figure. Simple stuff. So let's get started with a simple hexagon where all the sides are equivalent from one another. With this, you'll want to just draw half of your design at the top half of the hexagon. That way you can easily copy, paste, and flip it horizontally. Afterwards, take your design and rotate it 120 degrees. Then repeat this step by flipping it another 120 degrees. Wow, look at that progress. Now, as you're putting this together, do your best to remember that whatever you drew in your first design will take away from the adjacent design. Basically, whatever is left out from the inside of the hexagon is your next design. Once again, only make the first half, then copy, paste, and flip it. Notice that my cat design extends further than the hexagon. You're going to need to take that section of each design and have it cut into the opposite design. If you don't do that, it won't fit together perfectly like a puzzle piece. Now, you take your design with your cat and your pupper, and you copy and paste it, 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 and you just ignore any points where your design kind of overlaps because whatever, I'm not getting paid for this or anything. Once you have a pretty good tessellation on your plate, it's time to make that circle limit figure. If you're using Photoshop, here's what you should do. First, cut a circle out of your tessellation, then go to Filter at the top of the screen, then Distort, then Spherize. What an adventure we all have had today. One day you'll remember this moment. Me splaining art, you alone, cold, with no one else. I'm all you have. Bob Ross sure would be proud, wouldn't you, Papa? For now, dear students, please be sure to like and subscribe. See you next week for the conclusion of MC Escher month. Who the fuck came up with the idea of one artist for one whole fucking month?